Well, there you go again, getting all distracted. Let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk about the term distraction. What does distraction entail, and why do we get so easily distracted in the 21st century? And most importantly, how can we prevent distraction in this modern era? Welcome to Goals and Growth. My name is Estienne, and I help people become the best version of themselves in every aspect of their life. If you're trying to become the most awesome version of yourself you possibly can, you are making no mistake by subscribing to the channel, turning on those post notifications. Let's get the ball rolling. So it's no lie that distraction is an epidemic. It's become so easy to get distracted from our goals. It's become so easy to get distracted from our work that many people are falling victim to it. In fact, many people are reverting to social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to indulge in distraction. And listen, sometimes, and in fact most of the time, this distraction is completely voluntary. This distraction is done in order to take people's mind off of the issues, to take people's mind off of the stress. We live in such a high-paced and competitive world that we sometimes long for a bit of distraction. We sometimes feel like we need that distraction in order to cope with the madness going on in our daily lives. And yes, sure, the rat race is inevitable. We all have to work to put food on the table. We all have to do things that we do not want to do in order to provide for our families, in order to provide for ourselves, and in order to build better lives for ourselves. And the stress buildup is so insane that many of us are reverting to distractions. The problem with this type of distraction is it's a temporary dopamine rush.
What do you mean by that?
It's all temporary, it's all a facade, and it's all a quick fix for a permanent problem. If you are becoming more easily distracted, you're going to find it very hard to achieve all of your goals, whether it be short-term, medium-term, or long-term goals. If you chronically procrastinate or you chronically get distracted all of the time, how are you going to be able to put energy and effort into your goals? It's just not going to work. As I explained earlier, the main culprit behind why most people get distracted is because they feel too stressed out. We have a lot on our plate to deal with. We have family to deal with. We have our jobs to deal with, we have our side hustles to deal with, and many of us feel overwhelmed, and distractions are welcome. But how do we cure the situation? How do we get less distracted in an era that is full of temptation, that is full of distractions? The answer is simple: discipline. If you want success and change bad enough in your life, you will do everything in your power not to get distracted by the temporary dopamine rush. I mean, ask yourself this question: what's more important, watching pointless TikToks, or actually putting time and effort into improving your knowledge, into improving your skills, into making more money, into improving your body? And the answer should be obvious if you're an ambitious person. But this is where we need to express discipline and self-control. Without discipline and self-control, you will continue to get distracted from your goals. You will continue to fail in the pursuit of the best version of yourself. I know it's fun watching these funny TikToks. It's fun watching these funny YouTube shorts. It's addictive. But at the same time, you have to realize that you are wasting countless and countless hours scrolling through these things. Many people give themselves, let's say, a 10 or 15 minute break. They end up making that 10 to 15 minute break an hour because they're scrolling one dopamine rush to the next. It's like a vicious cycle that continues to spiral out of control. You need to take control today. And for those of us who are still guilty, we need to take control today. We need to realize that if we do not make the conscious decision to realize that what we're scrolling through has no impact on our life, it has no positive influence on our life, and is contributing no value whatsoever. If we can make that realization click in our minds, that's when we can avoid this type of distraction. If we realize that our goals are bigger than this temporary dopamine rush, that's when we're making the right decision. That's when we are winning the battle against distraction. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, ultimately it's very easy to become distracted in the 21st century. There are so many platforms that cater to distraction. There are so many platforms that profit and benefit off of people's distraction. It's scary. It's scary times that we live in. But we need to have the self-control and discipline to say no. We need to have the self-discipline and control to say that my goals are more important than my temporary distractions. My goals are more important than a temporary dopamine rush I experience from most of these distractions. Think about it. Would you be proud of yourself if you sat there at 90-something years old and you were thinking to yourself, damn, I should have tried that. Damn, I shouldn't have spent that much time on TikTok. Chances are that 99% of you will regret it. I will most certainly regret it if I'm sitting there at my old age and wishing that I didn't spend that much time on social media platforms. Guys, social media platforms and distractions are not all bad. Social media platforms can be used to build businesses and build brands if you use it wisely and if you use it conservatively. But it can also be a dangerous trap that distracts you from your true purpose in life. So, one message to take away from this video, one important message to take away from this video is that ultimately, it's a conscious choice. Ultimately, it comes down to how bad do you want change? Do you want this temporary dopamine rush right now? Or are you willing to make the sacrifice and practice self-discipline and ignore that temporary dopamine rush in the favor of longer-term progress and success? If you found this video helpful and valuable, all I ask of you is to please subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. My name is Estian, and I'll be seeing you next time on Goals and Growth.